wept your final tear or received your last round of chemotherapy? Not necessarily. Will your unhappy marriage become happy in a heartbeat? Not likely. Does God guarantee the absence of struggle and the abundance of strength? Not in this life. But He does pledge to reweave your pain for a higher purpose. It won't be quick. Joseph was 17 years old when his brothers abandoned him. He was at least 37 when he saw them again. Another couple of years passed before he saw his father. Sometimes God takes His time. 120 years to prepare Noah for the flood. 80 years to prepare Moses for his work. God called young David to be king, but returned him to the sheep pasture. He called Paul to be an apostle and then isolated him in Arabia for perhaps 3 years. Jesus was on earth for 3 decades before He built anything other than a kitchen table. How long will God take with you? He may take His time. His history is redeemed not in minutes, but in lifetimes. But God will use your mess for good. We see Satan's tricks and ploys. God sees Satan tripped and foiled. Let me be clear. You represent a challenge to Satan's plan. You carry something of God within you, something noble and holy, something the world needs: wisdom, kindness, mercy, skill. If Satan can neutralize you, he can mute your influence. What Satan intends for evil, God, the master weaver and master builder, redeems for good. The story of Joseph is in the Bible for this reason: to teach us to trust God to trump evil. Good days, bad days. God is in all days. I look up to the hills, but where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. He will not let you be defeated. He who guards you never sleeps. As the mountains surround Jerusalem, the Lord surrounds His people now and forever. You are my help. Because of your protection, I sing. Our help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. Psalm 121, 1-3, Psalm 125, 2, Psalm 63, 7, and Psalm 124, 8. Hope in the midst of tough times. So it came to pass, when Joseph had come to his brothers, that they stripped Joseph of his tunic, the tunic of many colors that was on him. Then they took him and cast him into a pit. And the pit was empty. There was no water in it. And they sat down to eat a meal. Genesis 37, 23-25. It was an abandoned cistern. Jagged rocks and roots extended from its side. The 17-year-old boy lay at the bottom. At least he looked to be a boy. Downy beard, spindly arms and legs. His hands were bound, ankles tied. He lay on his side, knees to chest, cramped in the small space. The sand was wet with spittle where he had drooled. His eyes were wide with fear. His voice was hoarse from screaming. It wasn't that his brothers didn't hear him. 22 years later, when a famine had tamed their swagger and guilt had dampened their pride, they would confess, "We saw the anguish of his soul when he pleaded with us," and we would not hear. Genesis 42:21. Joseph didn't see this assault coming. He didn't climb out of bed that morning and think, "I'd better dress in padded clothing because this is the day I get tossed into a hole." The attack caught him off guard. So did yours. Joseph's pit came in the form of a cistern. Maybe yours came in the form of a diagnosis, a foster home, or a traumatic injury. Joseph was thrown into a hole and despised. And you? Thrown into an employment line and forgotten.